How much is the business plan? Let's see what they say. 59th per month per agent per month, which is right. Okay. Yo, how's it going? It's Simon, back at it again. Today I'm actually doing a Claude Code video, which I haven't done before, mostly because I haven't really used Claude Code too much. I've mostly used N8N to make deterministic automations, but I'm hearing a lot about the agentic stuff recently, and just talking to an IDE and talking to Claude and having it generate your own automations for you sounds quite appealing. So I'm going to try that out today. I have done some stuff with Claude Code, but nothing major. So I just want to test out a full application today from scratch, something that I was going to consider making for a client using N8N, but instead I'm going to try making with Claude Code. So this is going to be a live demo. I'm learning at the same time as you and just going through the process and how this will work. So what you're going to need to do this is, first of all, yes, you want a Claude paid subscription. You do need to pay for this. You cannot use the Claude free plan or else this is not going to work. The other thing is you want this environment called an IDE, I think that stands for Integrated Development Environment, which I don't want to go into too much detail, but it's basically the place where you integrate Claude Code and it writes all your code for you on the side while you talk to it. So there's multiple options for this. There's multiple options for this. I'm going to drag over my browser here. The top three are Visual Studio Code, which is the OG one. It's Microsoft's code editor. You can get this one. It's the most basic one. The one that I'm using today is Anti-Gravity, which is Google's editor. It's a new system. They're all pretty much the same, by the way, just like slightly different interfaces, but they all function the same. So choose your favorite, honestly. Then there's Cursor, which it kind of markets itself as the AI version. All of these have AI functionality integration, and if we're using Claude Code, then we're using AI anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So anyway, as I mentioned here, I have open Anti-Gravity, which is Google's version. You're not going to have this color scheme. I changed that in my settings. You can do that too. It's not so important for this video though. What you're going to want to do then is you're going to want to go to the extensions page. This is what's going to be different from IDE to IDE. I believe for Anti-Gravity it's here, but just do a quick Google search or even just ask AI where the extension section is for your specific tool that you're using, and that can be figured out very easily. Then you can see that I already have it installed actually, but you want to install the Claude Code. I am not spelling great right now. So you just grab it and you'll have a button here that says to install it, essentially. I already installed it, so I'm not going to have that, obviously. Another really cool extension is called Pixel Agents, which I saw a quick video about from Nate Herc about a month ago. And I'm going to download this now because this is a cool little thing where it shows you like your little agents as they work. So I want to try this out and see how that works. Just as a bonus add-on for this video, because why not? I'm just having some fun right now. All right, once you have those two downloaded, there's a couple more things you want to do. The first thing you want to do for the setup is with Claude Code, I'm going to just figure this out with you. There's a setting called Bypass Permissions, I think it's called. Bypass Permissions, yes. So search up in your code editor. Again, it's different where the settings are. For Anti-Gravity, it's right here. And then search up Bypass and you'll come across as allow dangerously skip permissions. This is what makes everything flow so much better. It gives you the option to tell Claude to just skip having to ask you every step of the way whether it can do something or not. And we'll go into that, but for now, just check this. It's pretty much safe at this point. And if anything really is crazy, then you can see it before you deploy the code to any sort of live instance. The other thing I wanted to figure out was how to activate the Pixel Agents extension. I was curious how to do that. I have Pixel Agents here. I want to open it. I go here, maybe here. Pixel Agents. So yeah, I can't be figured out how to set this up right now, so we're just going to do the Claude Code. When you have it, you're going to have a little button up here to open it. If you can't find it, then just go back to the extension in the marketplace, and it should pop up here when you click on it. So do that, open it. For me, I'm already logged in. So in my case, that's not a problem. You're gonna have to log in before you can use it. And again, you have to use a paid plan. Okay, so now we're here. Now what? Well, the last bit of setup we have to do is to add a claude.md file. This is a file that basically gives the agent instructions on how to operate, how to make new skills, how to make repeatable actions, how to fix its own errors. This is where all the beauty comes in of the amazing autonomy that this agent can do for you. Again, there's a billion videos out there of what this means, and you don't even have to worry about it. I just have this one that I copied from Nick Sarayev, and I'll try and post it in the description if I remember to. But I'm just going to tell Claude, and again, you have the option now to do bypass permissions. If you don't, and you already checked off that setting, which I mentioned earlier, simply exit out of anti-gravity or your development environment, restart it, and it should be there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk to it with this voice app I have called Whisperflow, which lets you speak to it, which is the whole point of like vibe coding. So I'm going to do that now. Hey Claude, I'm starting up a new project in this folder. I have a claude.md text file below. I want you to use it and make the claude.md file with it. Let me know if that's possible. So I'm going to say that. You can see it comes up with a voice, and I just pasted the whole thing right there. And again, I'll post it in the description. There you go. And we're going to wait for it to do its thing. And yeah, it might take some time. Some things can take seconds, others minutes. That's kind of the point of the agent, is let it do its thing on the side. And you can see it's been created. If I were to open it up right here, it has everything that I pasted, which is great. As far as I'm not reading line for line, but there's no reason to believe it wouldn't have that. Now, one other thing I want to try is see if it can tell me how to activate this Pixel Agents extension, which I wanted to do before. So I'm just going to ask it. Hey, so I also have this Pixel Agents extension installed to anti-gravity, and I want you to tell me if you know how to activate it, because I really want to use that and see my agents working. So let's give that a shot. Again, it'll take its time, and we're just going to wait here. I see. So I'll give it one more question. I don't want to waste too much time on it. So I'm using the anti-gravity IDE from Google, and the extension is called Pixel Agents. So it is a VS Code extension, but I'm using the anti-gravity IDE. How do I activate that extension? And then it wants for a link for documentation. And I'm literally just going to grab the link from Google, and here is the Visual Studio Code Marketplace link. And then it's going to read through that, and if it knows how to do it, it will tell me. You can see an awesome thing is it tells you every step, what it's thinking, what it's doing. And there you go. Open the extensions panel, search for it, activate it, look for the panel in your bottom panel area next to the terminal, which I don't really... That might be more of a Visual Studio Code thing. Well, now it says to do Command-Shift-P to find Pixel Agents Show Panel. And there you go. Just like that. It told me exactly what to do, and I figured it out. So now we have this Pixel Agents panel here, which is really cool. And I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. I'm not going to play around with this extension, but I also want to do one more thing, which is maybe dragging this and putting it to the side somewhere so that I can see it side by side instead of up and down. Great, so I can see the extension. It opened up. Thank you very much. That being said, it's on the bottom of my screen, and I want it to be side by side, so like a different tab that I can have a side view of within my IDE. How do I do that? And I'll paste a picture for you below to see what I'm talking about, that it is right now. You can see I totally mess up my language, and it's still going to understand everything. And I'm just going to screenshot this. Literally just paste it in there. And there you go. It'll tell you how to do everything you want to do, which is just amazing. All right, so it's telling me to hold the Pixel Agents tab in the bottom panel, drag it upwards drag it all the way to the right edge, but it's not really letting me do that. So I'm going to play around a little bit here. Yeah, I'm not seeing any. Oh, is that it? No. I can do this, panel position, there we go. So it told me to right click, as you can see. Alternatively, right click the panel. I found this panel position. I can put it on the left, and there we go. Again, it just teaches you how to figure it out. You need to play around with it and trust it a bit, and there you have it. So yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Great, I have it side by side now. Thank you very much for helping me out with that. And then from here, you just start building. So my goal with this demo is to build a web chat widget. Like when you go on a website and there's like a customer service chat when you open the site, I want to learn how to build that and connect it to a website. Not connect it to a website in this demo, but just how to build it. And I want to see an interface view of it before it goes live. So that's the goal. So I can literally keep it in the same chat, and then I just start talking and tell it what I want. So you figure out what your goal is, and you just begin talking. All right, Claude, so this is my goal for today. I'm doing a demo, and I'm kind of learning Claude Code right now. I want to basically make a web chat widget. You know, on websites, when you open a site up and there's like a bottom right widget for a chat, and it's like a customer service chatbot. I want to build that basically. I want it to have AI functionality. Ideally, let's say a cheap model like OpenAI's 5.4 mini. And I want it to have access to company docs, like a company, we'll say just a company SOP. And I want it to be able to answer questions based on that SOP. I also want to be able to see a live view of what the widget would look like while it's being built. So let me know what you need for me to do that, and let's get going. So there you go. And I think I was thinking something else. I'll just enter it and let it do its thing, and we'll see if I remember what I was trying to say. Yeah, what I was trying to say, I just remembered now. You want to be as specific as possible. Usually you're not going to get everything right on the first go, but you want to get it as close as possible as right on the first go. And the more specific you can be, not overly like rigidly specific, but just tell it the functions you want. And you're going to see here, it asks you questions along the way. So if it needs a key, yes, I do personally have one. If you don't have one, then you have to figure out how to do those things. And you know how you can figure it out? You can just ask it. You can say, I need to get one, or you can say, no, I don't have one. How do I get one? But in my case, I have one. Do you have a company logos? I'm going to say, no, this is just a demo, so please generate a fake company logo and a 5-page company, I guess, FAQ or resources section I can use for this demo. Okay, and we'll see what it does with that. What backend? And it tells you recommended, not recommended. So yeah, I mean, if they tell you recommended, I'm just going to go with it. I don't really know any better. I'm not a coding expert. I play around with AI tools. And you're supposed to be seeing an agent here, but I'm not seeing it. So the next question I'm going to ask it is, hey, why am I not seeing any agents here? And it'll tell me. But yeah, I'm wondering. Oh, cool. Terminal, that didn't work. There it is. Or did I just make a new one? I'm not even sure what I did while we're waiting for this to happen. I don't even know. I'll have to ask. I just made a new agent and I don't know what it's doing. So yeah. And usually while this happens, this could take a long time. So you could literally just get up, make a cup of coffee, literally do whatever you want. Just have fun with it. Seriously. Talk to it like a human being. Talk to it like a developer. And it's just a game that you can have fun with. And it'll ask you for questions in the meantime. You can even set up notifications to have it prompt you whenever you need to take action. In that way, you can kind of get up and I don't know if you can set up phone notifications. I'm sure you can if you make an automation for that. But you can, again, you can just play around with this and see what happens. So I'm just going to wait until this has its next step ready for me, and we'll continue from there. You can also see here, this is really cool. It auto updates as you're making it. So I'm pretty sure initially it just had this Claude.md file in the main folder. I might be wrong, I wasn't paying attention, but you can see how it's talking about making a front end, and now it organized the Claude.md file into the back end, which basically means it's code that you don't see on the main site. So it's going to make a front end folder probably with all the front end code, which is really cool. You can also see it has its own to-do list, and as it completes them, it checks them off. It's like an actual human in a way, where it does, okay, I need to do this, 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 and this, because that's what they asked me over here. So I did this, next, do this one, done, next, I'm gonna do this one. And that's what it's doing now, step by step. All right, so it says here it's done with its steps. Here's some to-do list actions for me. So it wants me to add my API key. It wants to install and then start the server. And then it wants to open and see the live preview. So in my case, the only thing I really need to do is give the API key, because it's not going to be able to enter my dashboard account and do that. But you can literally ask it to do all of the other stuff right away. So I'm going to go and get my API key. It's a private key that you're not supposed to see. And I'm going to share it with it. I'm not going to record that part. But then I'll tell it like, hey, do everything else here. So I'm going to give it the key, and then I'll tell it to pause, and then I'll come back to you guys. All right, so I just uploaded my API key, and I even asked it to make more text in the way so I can't scroll up to it, and you guys can have it on the recording, which is awesome. So I want to do two things now. I want to continue on with the other steps that it mentioned, but also I want to fix or tell me how to fix the situation on the left. So I'm going to give it two instructions. Hey, so I'm going to give you two instructions here. I'm hoping you can help me out with this. First of all, with the Pixel Agents extension, I thought it was supposed to work like if I'm speaking to an agent like you, a Pixel agent will pop up and do an action. But when I'm looking over at the extension on the left, all I'm seeing is one character and it's idle, even if you're doing an action actively. Right now you're not, but even when you are, it's still idle. So wondering if you can help me or tell me how to fix that. Besides for that, I want you to continue on with every other step after giving you the API key. Now I want you to continue on and process that. And again, don't show the API key anymore in this chat box because I'm recording right now. There you go. Just basic, impromptu English. Let's see what it does. Okay, so it told me two answers here. For the Pixel agents, it said it only works when you click plus agents, and it opens a terminal panel here. To see an action, click plus agent in the Pixel Agents panel, which opens a new terminal with Claude Code running inside it. That terminal's character will animate as Claude works. The IDE chat is a separate server that Pixel Agent doesn't hook into. So I'm going to deal with that later, because I want to see, first of all, it told me that everything is running and that I can see it in my local host. So I just opened it, but as you can see here on this page, it says cannot get. So literally what I'm going to do is I'm just going to screenshot this and paste it back in this chat. Hey, so first thing, as for the web widget, you can see that there's an error there. It says cannot get /. So wondering if you can help me out with that. And then besides for that, I've tried doing the plus agent thing before, and you said it opens up in a terminal, but what does that mean? Do I need to speak to it in the terminal? I want to be able to speak to it in a chat and then just have the chat do it on its own. So there's that. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and click enter. I just remembered actually, something you can also do, which I'll try doing next time if I have multiple things to do at the same time, is you can run multiple agents at the same time. So I can open another agent right now, and this is another agent which I can speak to and have it do that task. The other one can do this task. So running multiple agents at the same time, I think it's called parallel processing or something like that. In this case, I should have done that because I had two different questions here. I could have done it with two different agents. So next time I have that, I'm going to try doing that too. Okay, so it just gave me two things. First of all, to refresh the this page, and oh my goodness. So it made a fake website, which I was not expecting at all. That's so cool. And here we have the chatbot, and I want to see, hey, what's your company name? I can't believe it made all this. I was not expecting this at all. Bright Desk, and that looks about right. Let's see, it has docs here, which it just links to the same site, which is, understandable. It's not going to make a fully fleshed out site, but this is a beautiful site. Amazingly beautiful site. How many employees do you have? But you can see it's integrated it here, which is insane. They don't have information. So what I want to do to verify if that site's working, it basically made this site. I told it to make an SOP or an FAQ document. I want to get access to that and then look at it and then ask it questions and see if it can generate them. Hey, that site looks amazing. I wasn't expecting you to do all that. And the web agent obviously has AI functionality, which is really cool. What I want to see is if you can give me the document you made for its knowledge base. I want to take a look at it, and I want to ask it questions based on the info in the document. So I'm basically testing its knowledge. Please show me where I can get that document. So that's one thing. And then I'm going to try doing the agent thing that it mentioned here. So plus agent. And it said to do Claude. So I cannot find Claude. So I'm going to do another one here. Oh, but it already got back to me. In the meantime, hey, so I'm trying to use the Pixel Agents extension. Another agent told me to essentially use the terminal when I click plus agent, but when I do, I just get to this page and nothing's really happening. So I'm wondering if you can help me figure this out. I want to see the agents on the left side of my screen. So again, parallel processing here. I'm just going to screenshot this, send it over, let it do its thing. I totally forgot. I want to bypass permissions. Actually, bypass permissions on that instruction. And there you go. Well, let's let it do its thing. And here we're back with the other one. So I open this page. Now we have two of them, but again, they're idle. So I don't really understand why that is. That's kind of my issue. So I did open a new agent, but they're idle. Here's the documentation. Okay, so it made it as an MD file, which is fine. But in a real life scenario, it would be a PDF file. So I'll ask it about that. Hey, it's totally fine that's an MD file. I think it's cool that you use it that way. But in a real life scenario, it might be like a PDF file or a doc file or something like that. So I'm wondering if you could convert that into PDF or doc, whatever you think is best for this kind of use case, and then show me that file. And then we're having two agents run parallel. I think we heard a sound. That might mean that this one's done. I think so. So now we're going back to this one. I won't bypass permissions. I see. Oh, there's one here walking around, but it still says idle. So I'm not really sure what's happening there. So I think it misunderstood my question. I'm actually going to do this, just screenshot with the idle on there. So what I mean is I already have it there. I just showed you the terminal. But when I look over the agents, they're idle. So when I click plus agent, it does add a new character to the screen, but it keeps them idle the whole time. It doesn't say what they're doing or anything like that. So I'm just kind of confused by that. And I'm also assuming, since we didn't hear any sound that said it's done, it's probably not done yet. And there you go, it's not. So we keep going. All right, so I heard the little ping. It says, now you can see the view really. Click on the characters, select, focus it, give it a task in the chat input area. Can you do a task for me? Right, so that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to take that, paste it here. So when I click on an agent, it takes me to the terminal here. And then I say, can you do a task for me? And it doesn't do anything. So we'll let it do that. I also have another thing I noticed. The folder name, I put it as a slash, but it turned it into a colon, and I don't like that. So I'm also going to change that. Again, bypass permissions. We have a third agent here. Hey there, third agent. Could you please change the name of this folder There's a colon, W colon Claude Code. That was meant to be a slash. I know we can't do a slash in directories, so could you please just make W space Claude Code and then add to the end of it and anti-gravity as well? And anti-gravity is how it's spelled, because sometimes the voice chat agents are not going to do great, right? So do what you can. And this one might be done. I didn't hear any sound, but that's okay. So look at the error, not found. Pixel agent requires the Claude Code CLI to be installed and it's not in your system. Cloud Session ID. Hey, could you just do that for me, please? That's basically it. Ooh, there's an error. I'll try again. I'm not sure why. Hey, could you just do that for me, please? There we go. Sometimes an error is just random and doesn't need to be considered as a major instance. This one's still working. So again, you can do other things while you have agents working, which is so cool. So I see one of these has completed. I didn't hear any sound, which is interesting, but that's okay. So it tells me that it's blocking commands because the colon, it fails its path validation. So I need to do it manually. That's okay. So I go here. It says in terminal I can do that, or in the Finder. So I'm going to do it in the terminal. And I'm just going to, I guess I'll do it. I don't know why it makes me do this, but I'll just do it from there. And there you go. If we look back at the folder name, how to make a web feature from scratch. Huh. I don't know what's going on here, but something broke, seems like. So I'm going to ask it about that. I'm just going to take a screenshot of this. Oh, it won't even let me. It won't let me, but something seems to have broken here. I'm not sure what. When I made that manual change you suggested, could you help me out with that? And you can see once you get to 3, it kind of, I'm just going to copy that. And copy this as well. No, I meant to copy that. Copy. I see. It won't let you copy that a second time. So I'll just take another screenshot here. Paste it. Yeah, once you get to 3, it can get kind of hard to follow each of them. So it might be best to only do 3 when you're doing like really big tasks, or you have like one where you keep doing small tasks with, and then the other ones are just really big tasks that you check up on every now and then, basically. That would be my go-to, I would say. So this first one responded, and it says having issues with the folder path, and we just need to do all this stuff. So I'm going to tell it to do it itself. Hey, that's great, but please do all of that yourself if it's necessary. If it's not, then just leave it. It doesn't seem like it's necessary because it already has a completed... And please open the PDF for me. I want to see it. Because it's not letting me see it. So I don't know what's going on there. Again, there was another error here. I think it might be because we have too many at the same time. What are the output logs? Oof, I'm not reading all through that. Type request, open up a panel. I don't know what that means, to be honest. And so we'll give it another shot here. I also wanted to open back up the... I don't know where the pixel agents went. It can get kind of confusing, to be honest. But yeah, let's just ask it to do this and then continue on. Maybe if I go to File and open Terminal, New Terminal, because that's where the pixel agents were. Yep, that's where so some things you figure out and you do them manually still. You can see, right? We're going to close this to make more space because I want to see who's done here and who's not done. And yeah, we're just going to keep waiting. Again, you can literally do anything while this is working. There's no need to sit here and just wait. For this video, I'm going to do that because, well, I kind of need to. One thing I'll say also is you can kind of see how this can get a bit addicting. We basically already completed the main task, but now I'm just optimizing and we don't have to. So I could literally just end it here I asked for a PDF and it's just taking so much time. It might not be necessary to test that out. We're just potentially just wasting time here that could be better used for other things, like going about my day. So that's one thing to be concerned about. And if I don't get this PDF back, I'm just gonna use the MD file it gave me to ask questions and verify that it works with the content it provided. And that'll be the end of the video, basically. In some cases like this one, it can take a really long time. There's a couple reasons for that. It might be because there's 3 chats open, though I don't think so. It might be though. So it might be worth doing only 2 at a time, or just getting a better computer that can do 3. The other one is context window memory. When this gets to about 60% or so, it might be best to clear it. Or you can click compact, which I've never done before, but it basically makes the context smaller so that it can do your work for you better. When it has more context, it might take longer to do its work. One thing I noticed also, the PDF itself is actually made. So instead of having it open and take like 10 minutes to do that for no reason, you can just go to where it told you to go. It's going to be made in the folder that you made it in. So it made a doc section and it has this PDF. I'm going to open it and you can see it, it has it here. So we can just continue this demo and finish this up right now. So we have this site, right, which it has the web chat widget, and we can ask it anything that we want based here. So how do I make an account? How do I make an account? And it should answer me with this info. Oh, it couldn't connect. Oh, there's an error here. So we're gonna have to fix that. Sometimes you can make some mistakes and it can cause more errors than you want. So we'll go back to that. I'm gonna ask this one to stop because we already have the PDF. We'll see if that works. It's having some problems stopping. Looks like there's a bug. Occasionally you can run into this. This is not a perfect service. And you might run into issues like this one. So I'm just gonna try and close these. I don't really need them to do anything anymore. I kind of just want to fix the website and figure out the doc situation. So clear conversation. And then that kind of restarted it for me. Now I'm going to give it this website. I'm going to screenshot it, send it over, and say, hey, this is an error I'm getting now. Could you please fix this so that the website is working again? And then, again, ask before edits. We want to do instead bypass permissions. No, I want to do bypass permissions. Send. There we go. We'll let that fix up. We'll fix the website. We'll ask it questions, and then we'll be done with this video. All right, so it looks like there's something wrong with my terminal. This can happen sometimes too. It can get really frustrating to do this sometimes. I'm literally just going to restart it. So I'm going to quit anti-gravity and start it back up and open the same thing. I found my folder. I'm going to open it again. I'm going to close their native agent. I'm going to open a Claude agent, which again, if it's not here, you can go to extensions. It should pop up. Installed, click that, open a portal or a tab with it. I'm not gonna mess with the pixel agents. Again, some things you just don't need to finick over, especially if you're already running into issues. I'm gonna screenshot this page again that I have here with the website. Paste it back. Close this. And I want to do a bypass permissions. I don't know why it looks differently all of a sudden. Maybe the Claude, the pixel agents is working now, so I'll try that after. But hey, so I'm getting this error on the site that you made for me. Could you please fix this? Maybe it updated something. I have no idea what, this is a whole new interface that I've not seen before. I'm actually really not sure what this is about now. If I open a new terminal, get pixel agents, nothing happens. So obviously that's not the situation that's happening here. So I'm gonna go back to this tab. I'm just gonna close this up and let this run. In the meantime, I'm gonna play, oh, now it's actually working. So you can see if it's just sitting there and not doing anything, then it's probably broken. I should have realized that. Again, I'm still learning this myself. But now it's obviously thinking and doing things. So that's really good news. Now we can just let it do its thing. I literally, as you can see, I just went to the side, played some guitar, and now I'm back here. So I'm going to refresh this page, and it works now. Now the chat widget is here. I want to test it out again with the PDF that it gave. And we'll just call this the whole demo. If it can figure this out and does this correctly, that's good enough, to be honest. I'd be very happy with that outcome after this. I feel pretty frustrated, as you can see, which is typical when you're learning a new skill. But it's going to be worth it right here, because I'm going to ask, how do I create a new account? And it go to, I don't know why it brought up the brackets, but that's easily fixable. You just ask it to fix that, show it a picture, and it says everything correctly here, which is really cool. Okay. How much is the, let's ask it, can I use the Whisper app? How much is the business plan? Let's see what they say. 59th per month per agent per month, which is right. Okay. Let's see what else they say. We'll ask it, so I don't really know what a canned response is. Could you explain that to me, please? We're not even going to ask the actual question. We're just going to ask it in different wording. And let's see. A canned response is a pre-written reply to customer service. Oh, it's not letting me scroll. To common questions. And here we go. Pre-written replies to common questions. There we go. So I just tested 3 different things. This looks pretty accurate. That's amazing. So you can see just all the way through all the headaches, the nightmares that we went through to do this. We played around with different extensions. We tried a whole bunch of stuff. We right-clicked here, figured this out, made it top, made it left is what I want to do. We tried parallel processing. We made an app that works, which is really cool. We got frustrated, played guitar, and moved on, you know? You get better at this as you go. Learned quite a lot today, even after all this, and I'm still going to post this with all the mistakes and frustrations I have in this video, just to show you that, yeah, this is the process, especially as you're starting out. It still worked ultimately. My initial goal was to make a web chat widget, and it worked. So that's kind of the goal here. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. This might be a bit of a longer video. I'm going to go for a walk now, come back to this later, edit it up, and post it. Yeah, if you want to work with me, got a link to my site in the description. Also, feel free to subscribe. Please subscribe. That'd be great. Like this video. Ask me any questions in the comments, and I'll talk to y'all later.